He then graduated from Northeast Louisiana University with his bachelor's degree in management. He accepted a position with the Ford Motor Company as a dealer representative and then as a quality control manager for Lincoln Mercury. Scott was working for Ford Lincoln Mercury when he was injured in 1992, leaving him a quadriplegic. Following 6 months of rehabilitation, Scott returned home and then returned to college to earn his master's degree in social work so he could help others with disabilities. After graduation, Scott accepted a position at LSU Medical Center as clinical instructor. He worked in the public school systems throughout the state of Louisiana with students with disabilities, teaching them self-determination and self-advocacy skills and assistive technology. Scott has been a motivational speaker now for 3 years and has spoken to various organizations and companies. He's now employed with STAR, the Statewide Technology Access and Response Program, as the Assistant Technology and Training Specialist. Scott knows about change, challenges, and perseverance from his own personal experiences. Please join me in welcoming Scott Reiner.
We're going to play Houdini. Can everybody hear me? And look in this box, and then I'm going to appear on the stage. Okay? You can't read this. Push the button. Flash. What a pleasure it is to be here this morning. I've had a wonderful time the last 2 nights meeting people and resources. It's been a wonderful time. Today I'd like to share my story with you. Myself sums up the morning. Find your soul. It was August 15th, 1992, when I dove into some shallow water and injured myself. In a split second, life changed. And life changes for all of us. We all face different changes and challenges in life. Maybe in your professional life, maybe in your personal life, maybe small or large, immediate or over time. But I think we have to find a way to deep down inside to get into our inner strength to overcome those changes and challenges we face. I can remember when my father was called because his young son was riding his bicycle on the Air Force flight line. I can remember the days when I was 12 years old delivering newspapers in the snow in Ohio, to ride my horse as fast as he would go, to race in my motocross and jump in the hills. I can remember getting my first job when I was 15 years old at Burger King, to buying my first car in 1969 Firebird. You know I was excited, didn't you? To go into high school, playing baseball, football, and my favorite sport was playing golf. That I was very good at. I graduated from high school, went off and moved up, started attending Northeast Louisiana University in Monroe, Louisiana. Joined a fraternity while I was having fun one night. A lot of the goals that I had set were coming true. And I graduated from Northeast Louisiana University. Took a position with Ford Motor Company as a dealer representative. Purchased my first home, and it was a dream of mine to always learn how to ski and own my own boat. So after getting a job, and I bought my truck, bought my boat, I was going to start learning how to ski. And I can remember the first day, I was so excited. I'm going to admit to you, I took the boat lessons, and I was a rookie. I launched my boat for the first time. I was so excited. Looked back, she started filling up with water. I started panicking. Got her back on the trailer. I thought I had a big hole in the back. The guy said, "You forgot to put the plug in it, sir." I learned how to play quick, didn't I? But I started learning how to ski and having a great time. But it was on August 15th, 1992. plan today like we all do. I was going to mow the yard first, clean out the shed, watch the cars, and I was going to call some friends. We were going to go boat that day. So I completed all my projects for the day. I always had a to-do list. Check all the way down my to-do list and everything. It was great to call friends. I called them. We got there in about 30 minutes. We met and we launched the boat. And we headed downriver. Of course, I was the captain of the boat, so I said I'm the first one in. So we water skied in the inner tube and had a blast for about 3 hours. It was time for our lunch. We packed our lunch, and we said, well, we'll just dock the boat on the bank and take a break for a minute and eat lunch. So we ate lunch and we started climbing around, jumping off and diving into the river. And my buddy had moved down about 10 yards. And so I thought it was about 6 or 7 feet deep, and it was only 3 feet. And so I dove in a split second. Life changed. I can remember being underwater. My body was numb, I couldn't move. And I was underwater for about a minute, and I'll tell you that minute was like a lifetime. My friend, luckily, noticed something was wrong, pulled me up and said, "Scott, are you okay?" And I remember yelling at him, "My body's numb, I can't feel anything. I'm completely paralyzed." So they pulled me up to the bank, and we all started panicking. And we're lucky able to flag down a gentleman. And luckily he worked with the local police department, had a cellular phone, knew how to handle this situation. He called the paramedics, called 911, wouldn't pick him up at the launching area. Brought him back, they had a gurney and a straight board, and they straightened, but they said the water was too choppy. So they had to put me on a helicopter. And so they transferred me onto that helicopter. And I can remember those thoughts going through my mind as I rode on that helicopter. Man, why did this happen to me? I can't believe, why did I have to go boating today? Questioning all these things, saying I've ruined my life is over. Now, I always wanted to go for a helicopter ride, but I sure didn't want to go that way. Anyways, I arrived at the hospital. Doctors stabilized my body, stabilized my neck. Then they came in and talked to me and my family. Tell them about the severity of my injury. They said, "Scott has done a good job. He's injured his spinal cord at the C3-4 level, and he'll probably be paralyzed for the rest of his life. And he'll probably run into several other complications before this is over." So that first day, they put me on a rotating bed. And on the second day they came in, they said, "Scott's going to have to be put on a ventilator. He's not able to breathe on his own." And my parents said that's Scott's choice. So you know the choice I made. I went on the ventilator. That was the beginning of some very frustrating times. Couldn't eat anymore. I was completely paralyzed. Couldn't move my arms or my legs. And because I was on the ventilator, I couldn't communicate very well. Then I got several complications, pneumonia, severe infection, so I couldn't do surgery. So I had to fight. I just said, "Don't give up, Scott." Persevere. And on the 30th day, the doctor said it's a miracle. He's overcome all these medical complications, and we need to perform surgery. So they fused my spinal cord. It was time to find a rehab facility. So we located Shepherd Spinal Center in Atlanta, Georgia, and they flew me to Atlanta. That was a nice Learjet plane. I liked that. That was pretty cool. They flew me there, and I arrived. Not knowing what to expect. I was nervous. Didn't know what the outcome. Didn't know what was I fixing to face. I've been through so many changes the past 45 days. Then I had a group of therapists come in. They just swarmed me, man. They swamped me, come in and started talking to me about the rehab process, what was expected of me and what they were going to do for me. And as a team, we were going to all work together and accomplish these goals. They started setting goals. They said, "Scott, first goal is to start getting you to sit in a wheelchair. And you're probably going to get dizzy. but I didn't know what they were meaning. Second, we want to start doing breathing exercises so we can build up your right diaphragm where you might be able to breathe on your own if all possible. Then we're going to have you start going to educational courses so you can learn about the spinal cord and learn about the medical complications that might be running into. And I said, okay. Those seem like pretty simple goals. They didn't really seem, but you'll see in the future how big those goals were. So they brought in this manual recliner and they said, here we go, Scott. They put me in that wheelchair and they tried to sit me up and I passed out. Woke up in about a minute or so and said, what happened? They said, we told you you'd get dizzy and pass out probably. But we started gradually going to therapy every day, sitting up. And some of you know, I wasn't the greatest patient, I'll tell you that. I can be honest. I didn't want to go, and I tried to manipulate my way out of therapy every day. But I was very lucky, very lucky. But I had therapists, rehab specialists, that took pride in their job, loved what they were doing, had the positive attitude that you just couldn't imagine. I had one that was a drill sergeant. Comes on, I'll tell you, she do that for you. Every day at 7 o'clock. Get up, boy, we're getting up today. I don't want to get up. And she had a thing. I would always try to give her some excuses. And she brought in the 3 tests. Thermostat, vital sign. Didn't have a fever. My vital signs were okay. And my oxygen level, I was going to the gym. So we went to the gym. And I had 3 other roommates. They were all living later also. And so we were in this battle together. And I didn't feel alone. We'd all go to the gym every time. And we started pumping each other up. You can do it. You can do it. You can get off that ventilator. And we would raise each other. But I continued going to therapy, learning, sitting up, and doing all my different breathing exercises. My other friends were getting off the ventilator, and I was still on the ventilator. It was getting frustrating for me. I was happy for them, but I was discouraged for myself. But luckily, I had a recreational therapist and a respiratory therapist that worked real close with me. He said, Scott, I'm here. But I'd always panic. I had the worst anxiety and the worst fears. That if something happened that day, I was going to quit breathing. It was like being under water for a minute, holding your breath to the last second, and then coming up and you're constantly like that. Well, that's how I felt. But with his confidence and him being there, he said, Scott, we're going to work together. And you can do it. You can get off this thing later. And so with my hard work, being determined, 5 months later, I was off the ventilator. And I'll tell you, sure, I was completely paralyzed. But being able to breathe on my own was going to be able to open so many doors for me. And so I was introduced, like I said, to my recreational therapist. And I call him a dream maker. The reason why I call him a dream maker, he started talking to me and saying, Scott, there's so many things that you can still do. He said there was 10,000 things that you could do before your injury, and there's 9,000 things you can do now. You can either focus on the 1,000 you can't do, or focus on the 9,000 things you can do, and start enjoying. He said, are you ready to start having some fun? I said, you know I am. I've been battling for 5 months here, and I'm ready to have some fun. He said, well, let's go take all this rehab and start learning how to drive a chair. I said, driving a chair? He said, yeah, we're going to learn how to drive a sipper pump wheelchair. So we started running it through mazes on a computer simulator. I was driving through them. And I was crashing and burning. It was so frustrating. I couldn't even get through the simple maze 1 by the second week, and I was going, man, I can't do this. This is so hard, I can't imagine. And you know what they say, don't you? You can do it. And so about 3 weeks later, I finally got the Maze 4, and they said, okay, Scott, we won't worry about Maze 5, let's get you into the real thing. And you know, I started getting excited. They brought in a chair like this, and they said, Scott, you know what to do. Just blow and go. And I said, you got it. So I got it, I was like a little 16-year-old. I was driving around, I can remember crashing into the first wall, bouncing back, putting it in reverse, and keep on going. And I drove all around that and moved through obstacle courses. Got my driver's license. I don't know if I was dangerous or ready to go, you know. But it was time, we go through the rehab process, and we learn about spinal cord injuries, and learn about the different types of technology. I started going to technology courses and learning how to work on a computer. Took the white bulb. Learning how to use the mouse stick. You know what I did with that first, don't you? Throw it on the floor, but I learned quickly it was going to be a tool that was going to allow me to be successful. We had to find those tools. So I went through my rehab special, started showing me the technology, started looking what the future was going to bring through technology. But then it was really kind of bad fun. He said, let's go have a good dinner at the Hard Rock Cafe, Scott. I said, I'm ready for that. So we went and loaded on the van and went to the Hard Rock Cafe, and they opened the doors. Hundreds of people there. I said, I don't have any insurance, man. If I hurt somebody, I'm going to be in trouble here. Take me out of gear. He pushed me. He said, no, that's not part of it, Scott. So about 10 minutes later, I finally get to the table, ordered cheese sticks, hamburgers, milkshakes. You know, I've been in the hospital. You know, so I had to enjoy it. But we had a wonderful time. Next outing was to go to the rifle range. So why are they taking me to the rifle range? And then whipped out this adaptive gun, mounted it on my lap tray and said, Scott, blow on it, and sit on it, tape, and then when you get it there, start pumping on it. I was like I was at the fair trying. Some of you men might know what I'm talking about. Trying to shoot the star out of there where I could bring that stuffed animal home. I just was like a machine gun. I couldn't get that just pumping going. You know, at that time I started realizing life wasn't over, was it? Life had just started over in a different way. My last and final outing was going to go to Airport Mobility. That was to ride the Atlanta Transit System out to the airport, purchase your plane ticket, go to the stewards, have them transfer you to an aisle chair, and then just load you onto the plane. So I rode the transit system out there, did very well there. Got my ticket, I was ready. Went there, found the stewards, and we were getting prepared to load onto the aisle chair. I was wearing shorts that day. It was a warm day. And the two young ladies started to transfer. And then all of a sudden, the lady had my shorts in her hand. And we both looked at each other, both turned red. And I started laughing. You have to laugh sometimes. I said, I passed Airport Mobility, didn't I? Sure did, sir. You done good. She threw those shorts back and I headed on my way. Learn quick that tell people how to transfer you when you get transferred. But that was part of the lesson. So my last one was to be able to direct my care. I directed my care and I was taken home. March 3rd, 1993. I arrived at home. They had a big old sign on the top of my roof. Welcome home, Scott. Community and friends and everything. Had a wonderful day that day, just getting home. This was a day I never thought would maybe happen again. But I arrived at home, I had nursing 12 hours a day. They'd come in the morning, and I kind of wanted to sleep late all the time, and I'd wake up to Montel Williams, watch The Price is Right, watch the rest of the talk shows. By the end of the day, it was 5 or 6 o'clock, and we'd leave. And that was the daily routine. I was on a manual chair because the chair I'd ordered hadn't come from the vendor yet. About 2 months of watching TV constantly, my electric chair came. I was moving all around the neighborhood. And last but not least, we were waiting on our van. I was so excited I wanted to go on vacation. So I started talking to my family and I said, we'll just put a trailer hitch on the back of the car. I got a buddy that owns the U-Haul system. We'll rent a U-Haul and go to Lowe's and make some wooden ramps. Let's go on vacation. So we loaded everything up in the U-Haul, transferred me in the front seat of the car, and we were off the border. Now I don't want to die. Couldn't get on the beach because I'm hard-headed and drove off into the sand. Stuff it took about 4 gentlemen to get me out. So I didn't get to sand that week, but I had a good time just driving up and down the beach and visiting with people. But I returned home from the beach. We had a message on the answering machine from our case manager to call. And so I called her the next morning and she said, Scott, the insurance bills you've been home and you've been able to adjust. We're going to cut your care down to 3 hours a day. You know, I started panicking. My worst fear was to be left alone. And they're telling me I only have 3 hours a day. So I started thinking, what can I do? How am I going to be able to take care of myself? My family has to work. So I started thinking. My innovative ideas and creative ideas started coming to my head. I think that's very important that we're very creative and innovative and try different things. That was my first invention. I rigged up a drinking system to the back of my chair with the Lowe's. Utilized their tubing system. Jack put me a 32-ounce jug on the back of my chair, and that gave me my independence. That started helping me gain my independence. I started looking at designing the lap tray, putting all my remote controls, using my mouse stick, and started looking at building workstations. Workstations where I could drive up to, dial the phone, had another drinking system up there. But I learned quick that I was going to need a computer also to be successful. And I knew nothing about computers before I entered. So you can see the workstations that I designed. Everything was chin level. It allowed me to drive up. I could turn the books, work on the computer, dial the phone, do pretty much everything I needed to do. Like I said, the last was computer access. I knew nothing about computers. And we bought our computer systems. And the guy at Sam said, you don't need to operate the mouse. You can just use the keyboard. And you need a mouse. There's sometimes you don't need the mouse, but you need the mouse. So luckily I've done some research and found that they have an accessibility program option that you can adapt the keyboard and utilize the mouse with it. So I started having computer access. I started having fun on that computer. It took me about 7-8 hours a day to work on it, to learn the different programs. And she'd crash on me and I'd call Packard Bell, talk technical assistance. And I had this thing in my mouth and we'd work back and forth. And I learned about the computer. Because I knew it was going to be my friend and my tool. I started bobbing my head to type 20 words a minute. People said, that guy's amazing on there. How's he doing that? I could only type 5 when I was walking there. You know? I had 15 times doing better than I was. So, but I had a good time. But I started looking, what was my future going to be? You know? I figured out all these things. We had to leave the door open, too. Didn't have to let the door open. UPS didn't deliver the package. shut the door. We get outside. Sure, I could have called, someone could have came. But I set that door with a positive attitude. I wasn't upset. How can you open the door, Scott? How can you figure out the way? And so what I did, I just ran under the doorknob on the counter, and I took my key, took the screen, put the chair in reverse, and opened the door. So I designed a 50-cent door opener, man. This is the greatest thing. The screen breaks, I just put another one on. But isn't that innovative and creative? Find what's going to work for you. I had to start looking into what was I going to do for a job? What could I do? I couldn't really go back to my other job because there was a lot of responsibilities that used hands, and so I started looking, and I had a great social worker at Shepherd. I said that would be something I'd like to do. So I started researching and found out that Northeast Louisiana University had a 2-year program because I had to have my bachelor, but the Grambling State University had a 3-year program where I could get my master's. I said that would be a lot better there. So I called and I started talking to this Dean Tucker. And I call him a dream maker also. Because he said, Scott, I see your vision, and I will be there. We are not very ADA compliant right now, but we're trying to get there. But we'll make arrangements and we'll do what we can. So I said, I'll take 6 hours the first semester to see how everything works out and to see how good I adapt to it. And I was doing pretty good, and I was just zooming around the campus being independent, you know. And I asked the lady, I said, ma'am, would you mind helping me on the elevator? And she said, sure. So I backed onto the elevator, and the door shut. And I looked, and she forgot to push the button. And I sat there, waiting for that door to open. 5 minutes later, that door doesn't open. And you know what I started doing? Help! Help! And I yelled help, and then I finally heard a couple voices. They said, it's on a timer now. Just push the button. I said, if I could push the button, I'd have been off this thing a long time ago. Find the maintenance man for me. 2 hours later, I get off the elevator. And I'm rolling into class, and my professor's talking about control theory. He says, as soon as he says, has anybody ever just felt like they've been out of control? I said, yes, sir, I've been over an elevator for the last 2 hours, helpless and yelling. He said, that's a good one, Scott. Let's analyze it. That's the last thing I wanted to hear. Is, let's analyze it. And I started thinking and saying, Scott, you heard people out there. You knew they were going to get you. It could have been 30 minutes. It could have been an hour. It could have been the 2 hours you had. It could have been 5 hours. But you knew you were going to get off that elevator. I said, true. So he said, you did have control of it. So we get back up. I said, so I continued to go on to school. I took 12 hours the next semester. That was my goal. Started setting goals because I wanted to do this program. Completed those 12 hours, and it was time for my internship. I went to a facility, and they said, Scott, we love you. We think you're going to be great for the job. We just have a lot of questions. I said, sure. He said, how are you going to be able to talk on the phone, confidentially to people? How are you going to be able to do all the hospital forms, documentation, progress reports? How are you going to be able to go into patients' rooms and write things down when you need to? I said, you throw me some challenges. If you give me the hospital forms and let me look and see what my responsibilities are going to be, I'll see how I can address these. So over my Christmas vacation, I designed all the hospital forms, and I bought all my technology. This is how I showed up at work. had my laptop computer, had a set telephone, put my Microsoft tape recorder right up here on my lap tray that I could record with my mouse stick. I was ready for work one day. I worked there for 5 months, served over 50 patients, touched their lives and they touched my lives. Helped them out. It was very rewarding. That started building my self-esteem. I started getting a high self-esteem saying, you can do this, Scott. You can do anything you want. So I continued on to school. Took 15 more hours. Did my last internship, did my last research. And I graduated from Redmond State University May 19, 1996. Almost 3 years after I came home. I graduated with a 4.0. I thought that was pretty good, because I barely squeaked out my undergraduate with a 2.2. It was time to get a job. And I started sending resumes out, and then I got hired from LSU Medical Center as a clinical instructor. That was so exciting to work with kids, to look at their dreams, to look at their goals, to make a roadmap for them to be able to accomplish what their visions were. And help them start looking at some of my visions, start documenting and writing things down. So that was very rewarding. But I worked so hard, come through so many things. I went through rehab, got off the ventilator, returned home, figured a way out to be independent as much as possible, returned to school, get my degree, and then get a job. Those were a lot of goals that I had accomplished, weren't they? It was time for fun. That's the last thing, isn't it? That's what we're having during this conference. So I went to this camp in Alabama. I got a brochure from Shepherd that says, the weekend getaway. I said, I would attend that. They said all these activities, and I wasn't sure, so we drove all the way about 9 hours from Monroe. It was about a 9 or 10-hour drive. And we arrived, and they handed out, gave out our packets and said, check 4 or 5 activities that you want to do, and you'll get to do those over this weekend. I saw all these different activities: scuba diving, fishing, water skiing, pontoon boating. And I started checking them all. I didn't know which ones I was going to get to do, but I checked them all. So our first outing was, said, Scott, ready to do a little fishing? You can see me and my buddy fishing there. They had an adaptive fishing rod, and all you had to do was just bump your head, and it was an electric fishing rod, and just bring it right in. You just saw the fork, hit your head, and bring it right in. I said, this is easy fishing. There is nothing to this sport. He said, I said, how much is this system? They said, about $450. I said, man, it's nice, but I can't afford something like that. And I need someone to make my hook anyways. So I said, well, if I just rig up a cane pole, put it on the side of my chair, my buddy will hook it up for me and cast it. And the cork goes under, I just throw the chair in reverse and drag the fish up on the back. I got a little bit more high-tech. Now I got a little remote control boat with a nice long line on it. I send the boat out to the middle of the pond. And the cork goes under. I bring my boat back in and drag the fish right up. I hadn't caught that one to take her under love. They doesn't want that to happen because I'll make her dive in and get that boat. But anyway, having fun. I said, Scott, you want to go scuba diving? I said, scuba diving? I've never been scuba diving in my life. You checked it off on the activity, let's go. Dang. I just told my buddy to check everything. Sometimes you better read what you check. But I knew when I arrived there, that it was going to take teamwork. It was going to take communication. And we all having the same goal. Those guys took me under, and signals were left, right, up, down. And if I wanted to get out of the water, we had a good time through that. It was an experience I hadn't done before my injury. Sometimes it's fun to tackle new things you don't do, isn't it? But you knew I was water skiing the day I was injured. They said, Scotty, you ready to go water skiing? They said, there's one thing you have to do. You have to be able to hold your head underwater for 30 seconds, because for some reason you fall off. We need about 30 seconds to get to you. That doesn't sound too confident. So I started thinking, well, I don't want to get in the water and get all wet and not be able to hold my head underwater for 30 seconds. So I told my assistant, I said, see that bucket over there? Let's go get it filled up with some water and go back to the room. And my buddy leaned over and practiced holding my head underwater for a bucket for 30 seconds. And he would tap on the side of the bucket every 5 seconds to let me know where we were at. And I would shake my head and come back up. About 20 minutes I passed. I could hold my head under a bucket of water for 30 seconds. You was proud to show people I could do it. And they loaded me on. We transferred on to that water ski. Technology, people being innovative and creative and adaptive. Put that foam seat on a surfboard, 2 outrigger skis, and they pulled me around all day. It's kind of funny, the guy that put me in, we got to strap my arms to my body, and so they fell down to the side, and they were kind of coming out of the water, and the boat driver thought I was telling them to slow down. We got our communication, and we finally got going. Told my therapist it was some good range of motion, you know? It was a dream. Setting goals and reaching those dreams. I told you about my first experience at the beach, didn't I? My second one, I was going to get on that beach. I was determined. And I said, how can I get, you've seen all these high, expensive technology beach chairs. I couldn't afford one of those. So I said, what can I come up with? Went to Lowe's, my favorite store again. Lowe's, Radio Shack, and Walmart. But I went to Lowe's and I looked at this launch chair, built me an axle, and put 2 long wheelbarrow tires on that launch chair. All I needed was some motors, wasn't it? People with positive attitudes, 2 strong men, pulled me all around the beach, and I had a time. I even told them to sit right there in the middle of the volleyball, and I was going to play volleyball. If the ball hit you in the head, that was it. We had a good time going into the beach, and I was having a good time. And I never knew they were 2 children. They just wanted to help. And that's what life's all about. You see me relaxing on the beach there. Quite funny, people just walked by and they had no idea I was paralyzed. They just thought I was lazy. I agreed with them. I told them I wanted to bet this weekend I was not moving. And these guys were pulling me around the hole, and I'm not getting out of this thing. They were bringing drinks up in my mouth and feeding me and everything. They said, God, but it's funny. We don't know. Some people don't know. My last dream, before my injury, was to hike the Grand Canyon. And I said, why can't that dream come true now? Let's call and see if they got some trails, see how accessible it really is. So I called the state park and they said, it's pretty accessible. We can get you on a helicopter and fly you really way down to the canyon, or you can just enjoy some of the outside trails. I said, I'll enjoy it. I said, is there any way you can get me on one of those mules maybe and take me down? You know? But anyways. You can see the height of the Grand Canyon. Not even at the time. I was then faced with another challenge. In 1998, beginning end of 98, 99, personal reasons I had to move to Montgomery, Alabama. Leave all the resources, leave the home that I modified, leave all the care I had. But I tell you, it was a little scary. But I arrived in Montgomery and I got on the phone quick. Started calling and looking, see where I could build a home, find nurses, find resources in the community, and linking up to them. I found resources, found nurses, built me an accessible home, and got a job with the statewide technology program as being the assistant technology and training specialist. And I'll tell you, it's a beautiful job being able to help people with technology, improve their quality of life, open their eyes and let them and make them educated in things they're not even aware of. And I find things on the internet every day. It's fun and amazing. I've shared my story with you today. Talked about some of the challenges and the changes. And I don't call them obstacles or barriers, I call them challenges that I've been able to overcome. And we all look at success in a different way. Your success and my success are defined differently, but we all have a different type of success that we want to accomplish. And I use 5 keys. And I think these 5 keys are very important that might help you succeed and help you. I think one, you have to have a positive attitude. You have to be happy. You have to be able to laugh. You've got to have a positive attitude with everything you do in life. If you have a positive attitude, positive things are going to happen. And if you have a negative thing, negative attitude, negative things will happen. And so I think it's very important that we have a positive attitude. I know my positive attitude has helped me out a lot. It helped me to succeed. I think second, we need to have a high self-esteem. Believe in ourselves. I tell myself every day I'm bad at the button. You don't mind me saying. And that you can do it. Take pride in what you're doing. Take pride in yourself, take pride in your family, and have a high self-esteem. I think it's important, third, that we dream. Let our minds wander. It's fun to dream, isn't it? I dream of winning the lottery. They're not all realistic dreams. Find the dreams that are realistic that you can reach. And that's where you start setting goals and letting those dreams. Set goals. I like to write everything down. I keep a little list of my dreams and what goals I need to accomplish. And I set one goal and I'll accomplish that. Set higher goals. Sometimes I don't reach goals, but that's okay. Just get back on the track, reset the goal, and accomplish it. Last, I think it's important that we have perseverance, that we never give up, because that never give up attitude. When times get tough, we just reach down the inside of that inner strength and fight and persevere. I call this program You Can Do It. Or some of you have seen the movie, You Can Do It. Have you done? All right, I'll walk away. But I believe from my heart that you can do it. And I think the only limitations that we have in life are really the limitations that we put on ourselves. I thank you. I hope you enjoy the conference, learn the knowledge, and help others. Thank you very much. Have a good day. I'm going to challenge y'all now to go back and learn all these resources and go make other people's dreams come true, okay? And I think that's what we're all in business for. Rock and roll.
Wow, that was quite an inspirational presentation this morning. Thank you very much, Scott.
Thank you.
I'd like to remind everybody that there's a break in the exhibit hall at 10:15. You know, it's at 10 o'clock, so go to the exhibit hall. There'll be a break, and don't forget, there'll be a free box lunch for you this afternoon. And you go out and you'll need your name badge in order to get into the exhibit hall. Thank you. Other than that, enjoy yourself and enjoy the conference.
Hello, Scott. Good job.
How was it?
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Good. Yeah, we'll be famous together. You're already famous.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It's helping, but what I can do is give you my.
Yourself.
I look good, don't I?
There you go. You do.
I'm ready for Hollywood.
Ready.
What's my first movie? Huh? But anyways, you want me to give you my business card and everything, and then you can mail it to me. And if I owe you anything, just let me know.
Fade out mosaically.
I think that would be services, get them papered, Virginia Alliance for Health and Recreation. I just think you would be an asset.
All right. I'll get the business cards out. You can help me in the back.
Yeah.
Like a box.
In the very top?
Your box, but in the very top. I got everything else back there.
Hey, Mr. Renner, I'm Elaine.
I think I have it.
I talked to you a couple of weeks ago on the phone. Said I was coming down. I made it.
That's
Very nice.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be in touch and try to work out some ideas about some modifications. We're still trying, getting started. It's going to take a while before we get started, but I'd like to use you as a resource for us in Montgomery to get started with
That's exactly what I do. Call my
Starline. You okay?
Got it.
I'm going to steal this one from
Go
you.
right ahead. That's fine.
Hi, hey, I'm Emmy. I'm from Dothan, Alabama. You're from Dothan. Yeah. So I was wondering maybe if we could do like a presentation to our management council sometime. We'll give you a call.
Probably could. Yeah, I think we can work that out. Anytime. I love it.
I was like, Montgomery, God. I was like,
Just right across there.
I know that was probably a big change, Alabama, from where you're from.
Well, the weather, people say it's hot in Alabama, but when you get down to Louisiana,
Muggy.
the humidity and the muggy, it's just so hard to breathe.
Well, I enjoyed that. That was great.
Just give me, and just say you met me at the conference. I meet so many people.
Oh, yeah, I will. I didn't bring any of my cards or I would give you one, but...
You have my card.
Okay.
They're mine. It's my
Okay.
the right pocket.
The right pocket.
Yeah, that'll be mine. That's where you can get me in the day, and then
Okay, we'll see.
if it's around
Let's see.
Technology.
Okay, I got them.
little leather, see where it says stars. That'll work. How are you
yes,
doing, sir?
Doctor.
Fine. Thank you for your speech.
Thank you. I enjoyed doing it. Very good.
I'll call you.
Do it.
All right, see you later.
Thanks a
Along
lot.
the way, we lose track of the people we work with in this house.
See anybody? This is my first conference. This is beautiful setup.
Well, they do a nice job. With a therapist, I do driver training and driver rehabilitation. Once a person is successful, I don't see them anymore. He's out giving a speech saying how wonderful I am, and I'm not hearing it.
But you know,
It's good to
inside,
give
you
back.
know inside that what you've done is, and you send him on his way, and you're ready for the next one.
Why are there 3 wristwatches?
I've got 6 watches. I have a story behind them. I collect them, sir. I like to make sure I'm on time. But if I'm broke, I become a watch salesman real quick.
But you know, they say if you have 1 watch, you know what time it is. If you have 2 or 3 watches, you don't know what time
Yeah.
it is. 'Cause they're never the same.
I've got them running pretty good. I just collect watches pretty much and buy them at different towns that I go to. And just pick them up and display them.
Now, you don't drive.
No, I have an assistant.
You have somebody with you?
Yes.
You think you could? Do they have the technology where you'd be able to?
I don't know. I would maybe take this down the road going about 45 or 50, but I don't know if I would maybe get in the vehicle and try it. But sipping and puffing and
Is there anybody? We don't have that, do we? We have
I
the.
think they have the sipping and puffing technology yet to drive the
You
vehicle.
don't get your range of motion, visibility, and the dynamics a lot different. So.
This is like maybe that someday that DigiDrive could be set up that way. It's basically what you got here.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Yeah.
That would be another dream, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let me go around here and visit you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Nice presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Renee.
All right,
Nice to meet
start
you.
the day off good, huh?
Yep.
All right. Very good presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I appreciate it.
What is your next goal now?
Is to continue on with my motivational speaking. And I'm rigging up a golf system. Golf is one of my favorite sports.
Oh yeah.
So cut them down. I'm another sports course. Keep the ball up. I'm doing a 360. I'm shanking them right now, but if I can do that 360 and hit about 100 yards, then that'd be
Yeah.
That's one goal. I'm opening up a mobility specialist store also in Montgomery, and so to get that business going and help others in their computer access. I believe computer access is very important for me. So working with that. Those are my 2 goals right now. I try to just keep 2 or 3 goals. I used to set about 10 or 15. You got to focus on 1 or 2 or 3 goals. And when you accomplish those, go on to the next.
How much of all the trouble that was caused by funding?
That's what happens. You run into, and you see where a lot of mine was low tech, workstations, and the door opener, and the drink.
You mentioned that because it's not always hard to do. It's available.
And you have to rely on the technology and what funding you have. And unfortunately, a lot of states don't have money. I went through vocational rehabilitation service, so I was lucky they were able to help fund for my college. Start looking into a lot of technology insurance companies. So that's just that's a luxury item. Finding the agencies will help fund it. All righty.
Yeah, right. Thank you.